first question is, how do I know if I have parasites? Because I don't know, TikTok said so, or my neighbor's friends said I should take some dewormer because I have a C, or I just think it might be a good idea. Okay, so here's some legitimate ways you can identify without testing. So this is before you would test. Symptoms that would be acute or chronic could be a weak immune system. So that means you're kind of getting sick often, or you're getting pneumonia often, or colds or sneezing, catching like the common cold over and over and over. And that could be where you're 3 weeks on, fine, and then, sick again. 3 weeks, fine, and then you're sick again. There's a pattern. Sneezing, fatigue, and that could be all day long. That could be part of the day. That could be intermittent. You feel fine, and then a day you're fatigued. You can have skin rashes. You can have eczema. You can have gut issues. That's a big one. But there's also other things that come along with gut issues. Irritability, mood swings, insomnia, poor focus and concentration, weight fluctuations, gaining weight, losing weight, and there's a whole bunch more. So just to recap, how do you know if you have parasites? If you've got a weakened immune system, if you're catching a cold quickly, if you're sneezing, you've got fatigue, skin irritation or rashes, gut issues, fatigue in the morning, fatigue at any time, on and off fatigue, poor focus, insomnia, or waking up at different times at night, and then weight changes, whether you're gaining weight, losing weight, and a bunch more. Okay, so now, how do we test? What do we need to test for? So your traditional test will look like a stool test. Unfortunately, the problem with stool tests is that they're not accurate for many reasons. Not all parasites are in your intestines, and they have to be in active form for we'll say parasitologist, or the person examining the stool to see if there's living parasites or dead parasites, and they might actually mess up and identify it as something else. So food fragments can also look like parasites in the stool. So you have to be a little bit leery about, okay, well, it was negative. I'm totally fine. I have no parasites. Well, that's based on testing maybe 10 varieties and hoping they're in an active state. There are some deeper dive tests that you can do. Again, you're going to be taking stool samples and they'll be fishing through your stool and looking for cysts and sacs. And again, that has to still come through the stool, and particularly your large intestine. And they like to hang out in the small intestine, certain species do, and in the tissue. That could be your brain tissue, that could be your muscular tissue, lung tissue, heart tissue, pancreas, and so forth. So those tests will not cover that at all. Okay, the other way you can test, you can do a biofeedback scan, which is what I use for my patients, and it will test cyst phase, adult phase, and we'll see what type you have, and you'll start to see there are a lot of types. There's classes, and then there's types of parasites within those classes. And then you can use treatment effectively. Now, there's different ways you can treat parasites. You can do herbal remedies, and you can do safe medicines that have been out for over 50 plus years, well studied. So you can kind of pick or choose. At least those two options are pretty useful, as opposed to like just relying on colonics or enemas and so forth. So those won't deworm you. If you enjoyed the information today and you still don't know what to do, you are welcome to schedule a virtual session with myself. You can click the link below. You can schedule a virtual initial session, or you can schedule a virtual nutritional session, and we will dive into your issues and healthy solutions. In the meantime, you're welcome to download the PDF that gives you the parasites and the dewormers to use for them. I hope you enjoyed this and have a blessed day.